So if you had told me just a couple of years ago that this entire car would be running on a bunch of these, I'd have called bogus. But here I am, sitting in one that has a massive 49 or 60 kilowatt battery that can run up to a WLTP range of either 345 or 410 kilometers on a single charge, and it's from a brand new Malaysian manufacturer. And today with me, I have the premium variant of the all-new Malaysian-made Proton EMAS7. And under the hood, it's got a proper 160 kilowatt motor that produces 320 Newton meters of torque. That can do 0 to 100 in about 7 seconds and take you to a top speed of 175 kilometers per hour. Not that I'm going to test it out, nor would I recommend you to test it out. And as for practicality, on this 2.7 meter wheelbase car, it comes with a ground clearance of 173 mm, which is just about decent to tackle on rough road patches, underground parkings, and the occasional city potholes. Continuing on practicality, at the back, there's a massive boot of 461 liters that can be expanded via folding down the rear seats in that traditional 60:40 ratio to a whopping cargo size of 1,877 liters. And, well, as for charging on this car, the charger port, as long as the vehicle's unlocked, it will open up, and it is, as you can see, a CCS Type 2 charger, and you can charge this in different ways. So starting with this low granny 2 kilowatt charger, that's going to take a while. 20 plus hours on both variants. But the good thing is this can accept up to 11 kilowatts in AC fast charging, meaning around a 6-hour charge time for 0 to 100. It accepts a proper 80 to 100 kilowatts of fast DC charging depending on the variant. So the company claims that this will do a 30 to 80% in about 20 minutes. So roughly a half an hour wait for your highway runs. Oh, and I forgot to mention, but this also has V2L and can support up to charging an entire other electric vehicle. All right, I know that was a lot of numbers and stats to begin with, but I'm excited to get behind the wheel of this Malaysian-made Proton and check out how this drives. So let's get going. Ooh, memory seats. Nice. Seatbelts check. Shift into gear. Always drive responsibly and safely. It's definitely one of the bigger and more powerful EVs out there in the market currently. Like, you can feel its massive, solid road presence immediately when you get behind the wheel. It's a bit bigger than its BYD counterparts and almost feels as wide as a C10, though probably a bit shorter. And the other thing that immediately catches your attention is the heads-up display right in front of me. It's crisp and bright and just shows you the right amount of information, your speed, your indicators, your speed limit, and when you have ADAS and intelligent cruise control activated, all that is also displayed there. So it does a really convenient job of keeping your eyes glued to the road. However, because there aren't too many buttons and dials on this car, like a quick HVAC setting changes can be done here, and there's this big nice clicky rotary dial that will change your media control and fan speed depending on what you're fiddling around. You're gonna have to look at the screen for everything else, which I don't get it. I have some very convenient features to make me concentrate on the road, but then again, all of this, that takes my eyes off the road. Like, even my sunroof opening doesn't have a dedicated button up here like in most cars. I have to swipe down, go into sunroof, sunshade, and then another swipe function. But how about the actual driving on this car? Well, it comes with 3 modes, and you can swipe down, and I am in eco mode, and you can immediately feel that 320 Newton meters of torque and 160 kilowatts of power at your disposal in a snap of a finger. Like in eco mode, foot down, and it does take you away, and I don't know what went back, but I heard something. And this is eco mode. I can change it to sports mode. Oh, by the way, unlike other cars, you can actually feel the accelerator sensitivity increase, the brake sensitivity, the heaviness and heft of your steering wheel all go up and get fine-tuned in sports mode. And in sports mode, like everything is at your disposal. And along with power, what about the brakes? Because as fast as you can go fast, you also want to stop, right? And there are 4 disc brakes, of which the front 2 are ventilated, and for your regular city commutes and a bit enthusiastic driving like right now, it's more than enough. But this is an EV after all, and you definitely also want to utilize your regeneration braking, right? And so again, another look into the screen here, going into driving, and you have 3 modes: a low, a medium, and a high. I do want to point out that in this car, the way regen kicks in is not like instantaneous. There is like a tiny bit gap before then suddenly you can feel that jerk and it kick in. So I've actually left it in this 4th mode called auto mode, where it sort of calibrates regenerative braking on its own according to like the terrain, the driving style, and your surroundings. Straight line performance is great. Hands on the steering wheel, foot down even in eco mode, and I'm suddenly at 60. And I think this is thanks to the suspension setup as well, in complement to everything else. Like, it's got a McPherson strut. You can hear that, right? More about it later. It's got a McPherson strut setup at the front and a torsion beam at the back. And well, all I can add is that it's on the plush side. It dampens and rebounds pretty well. So much so well that when you're in some longer rough road stretches and off-road maybe even, the 173 mm of ground clearance will hold up pretty damn fine. But it does tend to sometimes get a bit bouncy in the cabin if you start increasing your speed. Luckily though, the chassis does not bounce around as much when it comes to taking longer bends at higher speeds. Good going, Proton. And this car comes with a 6-way electronic adjustment, also ventilated seats by the way, of the driver's seat. And the passenger side too has 4-way electronic adjustment, and it's got a very relaxed yet clear sort of like front view bonnet with like big expansive windows to help aid city traffic as well as highway cruising. And complementing this great view and positioning is, well, I programmed this start button as a quick shortcut button to the exceptionally good 360-degree camera. I'm not sure if it's the camera quality or the screen quality that makes it this good, but it's probably one of the best in the segment at the moment, if that's your thing. And this clarity even retains at nighttime. And this being built on top of a Chinese car platform definitely includes ADAS level 2 straight from the ground, which means things like lane centering, cruise control, speed controlling, braking. It's got all of that. In fact, I'm sure you noticed some beeps and bongs along the way, which was a reminder that I exceeded the speed limit, since it has a speed limit tracker as well. So If you're in the habit of turning all that off, just note that each time you restart the car, it goes back to its default on. And while I'm talking about tech, just look at the speakers. They look so cool. It's got 16 speakers in here, this Fly Me system that they have, including 2 speakers embedded on the headrest on each side of the ear, which plays your outgoing calls. Like, so cool, right? Okay, so the exteriors. I think this car is basically a direct rebadging of the Geely Galaxy E5, or as they call it, the EX5 in international markets, but with a splice of Proton. And starting at the front, I am going to open the hood. No hydraulics, but also no room for a frunk. You have your massive wiper fluids there, bit of hydraulic fluids, coolant, brake fluids, and then your fuse box there. The orange wires are all high voltage wires, but yeah, that basically sums up your engine walk around. And then coming to the front of the car though, up at the top you have a camera as well as half of your ADAS sensors baked in. Also boneless wipers, that's a added plus bonus there. And then coming to the front of the car, you have a full LED treatment in the headlights, which include features like follow me home and auto high beam. Also, is it just me, or is it the front of the car very fluidic and smooth? And if you look here, a big, very noticeable Proton logo, and it's got the Malaysian national animal, the Malayan tiger, right at the front. Also coming down below, you have cutouts for your AC and AC radiator intake, and I've been told that these do open and close accordingly to the need. And coming to the side, when I walk closer, I do have the key on me, so its proximity sensors will sense and open up. But these mirrors are housing your indicators and are electronically adjustable and foldable. There's also a hint of blind spot detection on them. And like its Chinese counterparts, it does have one of the many 360 cameras embedded in it. And up on top you have a massive panoramic sunroof with like very sleek looking roof rails. And then coming down below, your charger port is on the driver's side and opens up and outwards. It's a push to close in. And then at the bottom though, you have either 18 or 19-inch rims depending on the trim. Coming back up and out, the car clearly is very sleek, long and massive, and it's got very big, tall and wide windows, also tinted a bit green to keep UV rays out. And if you look at the front here, there's a bit of depression and sharp cuts that begin in the driver's door that stretch out slowly and fade away towards the back. And you have concealed door handles that close when locking. Just checking out the doors, they open up pretty wide. What about the back? This will definitely make ingress and egress very easy. Nice thud, if you ask me. But then coming to the back of the car, you have a rather wide stance C-pillar with your rear lights already sticking out here. There's no shark fin antenna on this car, surprise, surprise, and a top-mounted spoiler and stoplight. Oh, and would you look at that, something that I love in all these cars, a rear window wiper. Coming at the back, it's again all LED treatments of the light back here with a very big prominent Proton spelled out, as well as an EMAS badging on the bottom right hand side. Then at the bottom you have your 360 camera as well as 1 and 2 parking sensors. Also, this looks like to be your tow hook spot, and then you have a bit of plasticky skid plates on each side. Oh, this is a third parking sensors, and all I need to do is get on, put my foot on the brake, and we are good to go. But starting off with your driver's door, soft touch material, a bit of plasticky harder plastics, but still softer than what you would get in most cars. The window buttons are inverted though, so I need to press down and up to open and close it. But that's fine, all in a good day's worth. All right, as for the driver's seat, you have memory seats that automatically adjust when you want a driver's profile saved. And then as for the steering wheel itself, on the left hand side are your intelligent cruise control or adaptive cruise control buttons here. On the right hand side are your voice activation, which by the way works for simple commands, and a menu toggle for your driver's display. So you have different settings. I have the energy graph, you have the current trip graph, the air pressure graph, and then the music graph. So yeah, and then these are for your toggling. The right hand side is your gear lever. On your left hand side is an all-in-one. This is for your wipers. This is for your back wipers. And then your indicators, and then you can flash someone with the high beam. All right, that was all condensed there. Oh, and there's like a Easter egg in the corner there. If anyone knows what that means or where that is, let me know in the comments below. These are leatherette seats, by the way. Really nice cushion hugging seats, and there's a bit of an emblem on the side of Proton. As for the passenger side, you do have a proper glove box here. And another storage space in here, big enough to hold my phone gimbal. And then a wireless charger here, by the way. Oh, that's me and my dog. 2 cup holders on the smaller side, and there's a slit. I don't know what this is for though. Too small for a phone. You can also close this with this flap. Yes, this is your main highlight of the car. A proper 15.4 2K HD display, and trust me, it's actually better than my monitor's display that I used to edit this video, just saying. And it's got really snappy interface, no lag at all whatsoever. Up on top you have your interior lights, a automatic rear view dimming mirror, your hazard lights. And then down below on the car though is your power outlets. It is rated at 12 volt and 120 watts. Then you have a USB-A here, and you have a USB-C on that side. And moving to the back seat, again, it's the same finishing for the rear passengers. Plasticky inverted one touch. By the way, all the windows are one touch on this. It's a flat floor bed due to the EV platform, and a very wide and expansive seat. Very laid back too. And what I really like about these seats are not just the leatherette fabric, but also that this under thigh support is honestly great. So getting into the cabin, you have 2 AC vents at the back for your rear passengers, and then both a USB-C as well as a USB-A outlet at the back, as well as a storage space. Surprise! And then, wait for it. Uh-oh. And then, wait for it. Surprise too, I have my jacket. So, a proper big water bottle could fit here. And then your shoe, a jacket, a spare. Really nice usage of space at the back here. Your rear seat does get ISOFIX points on both sides. 3 headrests. And let me unbuckle this, but you have a nice wide thick rear armrest with 2 small cup holders, probably for your to-go coffee cup. And I guess what you're most interested in, oh, there are cubbies here and on the passenger side. This is, I think, in memory seats, so it's way behind my 5'9" driving position. And look at this, I still have ample foot room. In fact, I can even pull my leg up and still have enough room at the back. It's like almost business class sort of space back here. Probably is, not gonna lie. And then knee room, continuing on, is great. And shoulder room is good. Headroom is good too. Hey, Proton. Hi, Proton.
What would you like me to find for you now?
Open the sunblind.
All right.
So that's going to open my sunblind, and it's really nice and spacious and cozy back here. Like a lot of light that comes in to the cabin, and you just feel really at home and spacious, like really nice. So at the end of the review, what you have to remember is that Proton is a new EV manufacturer that has dipped its toes in the game. Like back in Malaysia, Proton have already successfully delivered its first 1,000 units of the EMAS7. And in fact, Nepal is one of the first markets outside its domestic markets where they're aiming to sell. I never would have imagined that Nepal would be a country where you would be getting the latest and greatest immediately upon release. Never. And this car does have a personality of its own with some quirks here and there. Like, you know how EV cars are mandated by law in some countries to have some sort of like fake engine, artificial sound to warn pedestrians? Well, this one has like a jingle to it and almost reminds me of like those ice cream trucks that go around town selling kids afternoon snacks. But you'll still need to honk because that's still not audible enough. And I think some of these translations are a bit too direct and need some rewording. Like, check this out. I'm going to go into the shortcut of the menu, and then my seat preferences are labeled as cozy seats. Not sure what that means. And my preferences are labeled as habit 1, habit 2, and habit 3 instead of the usual memory 1, memory 2, memory 3, preference 1, 2, 3. But these are all just words. It's the functionality that counts, which this has. Like, it's even got like a cooled sort of cubby down here. And as for efficiency though on this car, I'll be honest, I am guilty. Because of all that torque and power, I've just not wanted to drive this car with a light foot, which I always do, at least for a while in all my testing. Foot down and you are immediately taken off. Like, I just can't get enough of this. It's a fun and exciting car at the end of the day. But unfortunately, it's been hot. Temperature even right now is hovering around 30 degrees. AC demand has been high. I just have not been able to get my efficiency in more acceptable numbers. With my research online, I did see other reviewers bring their efficiency down to about 13 kilowatts for every 100 kilometers, which will definitely get you your WLTP range of about 410. But me, with my heavy foot high AC, I'm currently hovering around the 17s. But again, it's such a fun car. I don't want to waste any time trying to like range test this. So overall, I came in with a very clean slate in terms of my expectations for Malaysia's first proper EV, and I can conclude that it's fairly polished. And if you are a tech enthusiast in any way, you'll love this car. Like, it's got this very great balance between comfort and performance, and honestly, I think that it just might be one of the best value propositions out there in the market right now. As for Proton Nepal, this is their first dip in the EV game. After all, they're aggressively trying to expand their charging network from zero. And they've actually started off with a proper 160 kilowatt fast DC charger at their showroom in Kathmandu. And that they were very keen on expanding their services very soon, because after all, you would want good after service on any car that you purchase. Anyway, that was me for this review. Do let me know what you think about this Malaysian automaker's entry into the EV market, and drop a comment, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.